also function is very small, but first we have to complete the class base, then we'll move forward. Okay, so this till here we have done like the colors and all. Also we have done how to do that thing. So today the first topic which we are going to learn is like, let me see if I'm live. Okay, so let me see. Hello all, and live on YouTube also. Okay, so as I've told, the first topic which we are going to see is control component. And control component, the logic of control component is very much required. Okay, control one sec. So the control component logic is very much required because this is the way we use forms in React. Using forms in React is a bit different thing than otherwise using it in HTML. So because React works in a different way. So let us do something. So let us create a new component known as demo form.js, and it will be a class based component, so RCE. Then this export I will remove, and then this will be done. Good evening, Imran. So this is done. Maybe I'll remove this one. Okay, so that is there. Now demo form, and then okay, so we need to include this demo form. So let us include this demo form. Let me save it first and then include it. So I will include this demo form. Demo form I'll include and save it, and like it will be yeah, it is running. So it is showing like this. Okay, so this demo form will come, and then after this here I'll do a R const constructor will be created, and this here I'll go and in React to have like this form. Form is very important thing in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, everywhere. Forms is very important because it is used to take the user input. In React, it is even much more important. So for form, I have to wrap everything with a form. We are getting a form, and then wrap everything with a div because form consists of two things: label and input. And this is HTML stuff. Okay, so I'm not going to tell again. Label, and okay, this is a very interesting thing. Okay, label, and then I will give it a name, and this is name, and then input type text, and id equal to name, and value equal to okay, value will be equal to a state, and this state will be like this name. So name like this. So value will be this dot state dot name. This dot state dot name. Okay, value is this dot state dot name. Oh, screen is not visible. Sorry. Okay, someone told that is very good. Okay, that's very nice of you. Because I was not even sharing my screen. Sorry for that. Okay. So yeah, so I did till here. That is very good. That's happened when a lot of people are there and they are like, see. Okay. So this is what I created right now, a demo form. And this demo form, it's nice of you, Imran, that you told earlier. So in this demo form, I have like included this demo form. Let me go through this again. I've added a component like demo form, and this demo form I've included it in this. I've created a form and a label and the input. Label and input I created. And in React, this value thing is very, very, very important. Like this dot state dot name, it is I have told this thing because or else how it will know about the state. Okay, so that is there, and this dot state is equal to this name is which is an empty string. Okay, so this is the initial state. This is the initial state. And one thing you might be wondering, what is this HTML for? Let us see what is the HTML for. And we all know that input boxes have the corresponding label. So if I right click and inspect, as I've told, HTML knowledge is very much required. Okay, and if I see, then you'll see that it is changed to a for. It is changed to for. HTML for is changed to a for because again the for is a keyword in JavaScript, so it is not allowed. So in React they came out with something known as HTML for, but when it get changed, it changed into a HTML for. Okay, it changed into an for statement. Okay, so but we have to write it as HTML for. And in React, as I've told, the name property is not important. The property which is important, it is known as value. It is known as value. Okay, it is known as value. Okay. So that is them. And so value is this dot state dot name is there. And so initial value will be taken as this empty string, which I have created, empty string. So if I come here and if I try to write something, but I will not be able to write anything. I will not be able to write anything. Why I'm not able to write anything? Because this is how React was. In React, you have to give one more thing for this thing to work. Okay. And that thing is known as the changing the state. I will first do that thing and then I will tell how that works. So I will go here and do a on change handler. On change is a handler in which what will happen, this means it will fire the moment the input is changed. So I'll do this dot handle name change, handle name change, handle name change I'll do, and then I'll go here and this handle name change will be equal to and arrow function I'm going to do, and it will get the e or event. Maybe I'll tell I'll tell you that e, and then I'll do this dot set state equal to name is e dot target dot value. E dot target dot value always, it's a JavaScript. It always contain whatever is I'm going to type it there. Okay. So that is there. Functional component will be taught tomorrow. Okay. So that is there. Functional component states and all will be taught tomorrow. So that is there. And now what is happening here? This how it is work. But in functional component also it works like this only. So how does it work? Okay. So the main thing is that in if I go to this name, if I go to this name and if I type suppose something like this and I type, so what happened? So initially when the initial render is done, it will happen like initial render, it will be like an empty string, but it is keeps on this keeps on listing the moment I click n. So this handle change function will go, and this handle change function, this name will become n, this name will become n. And we know that when the this dot set state run, what will happen, this will re-render again, and now this will again, this will become n. So that's why I'm able to see now. Or else if you don't do this, you will not be able to see. Then whatever I type, like, and then after a and all those things, it will be shown. So this is how it works. Okay, this is how this works. This is how in React it works. Okay, so that is there. And maybe we'll see like one more example here, which is like we are, and this time it will be a div and table, and HTML4 is a comment is there, and then comments comments I'll do, and then text area I will take the text area. Okay, I will take the text area. Okay. Okay, so text area and text area, I don't need the name. In React, you never need the name. So I'll remove this name, and the ID will be again same as this comment. And this I don't require, but I require one thing. I require this. These two things I require actually, value and on change. Value and on change I'll put. So you'll see the same kind of thing is there. And this what I have to do, I have to go here and do a comma, and comment will be like this empty string. Okay. Text area like, and this will be this dot state dot name, and this dot write as comment change. This comment change will be actually exactly equal to this. Okay, so this comment change like comment is e dot target dot value. If I save it, and if I save it, there should be some space here. Save it, and this will be this is a comment. Okay, so we can write multiple line here. So this is how it works. Okay, this is how it works. And then so this is how it works. Now we are going to do mm, the most important thing, which is a button, which will take this input and show it. So, but that button is very important. Again, we'll have an input type submit button or a button with a type submit. Anything we can have. So again, I will have BR and button will be there, and then I will have a submit will be there, and then type equal to SUB submit, and then in the form I'll go and do a on submit equal to this dot handle CVMIT handle submit. Anything you can do. So on submit will run and the moment I will click on the submit button or whatever I do, like or do the enter, it will run. Okay, so that will there, and now I do this handle submit here, equal to E, and then E dot prevent E dot prevent default. E dot prevent default. We know why we require this E dot prevent default. And then I'll just do a CLG of this dot state to see if it is working fine. And whenever we are going to take the same thing and do a API call, and we're going to see that it is very easy. We are just going to send this here. So today we are going to do API call also. So if I inspect it and go to the console, and then I will write something, and this is a command, and I do the submit. It is showing this. That means it is working fine. This is how do you do forms in React. So that is done. Now we are going to look into a very important topic known as the lifecycle methods. Lifecycle methods were earlier only in class-based component, but now as they're in the functional component also with hooks. So, but this is very important to know the lifecycle methods in a class-based component, because or else I will tell you tomorrow means how why it is important, or else directly in a hook if you do, nobody understand I think what is the use effect. Okay, so that is it. And anyways, as I told, class-based component I still use because functional components are only 2 years old. So lifecycle method. There are some more lifecycle methods in class-based, but the important one are only some of them. Okay, and those are imported in the functional component also. I will tell about that. So first, what I am going to do, I'm going to create a new component known as a parent lifecycle.js, and I will also create a new component called child lifecycle.js. So this parent lifecycle.js I'll do, and RCE I'll do. Let's forward. This one will be RCE also. Class based. Now what I'm going to do in the parent, let us see first in the parent only. In the parent, we are going to have, see, lifecycle methods are what? How the flows in a React component. There is a order in which it flows. So that is what this all tells us. This lifecycle method tells us what is the flow actually. So here I will have a r const first, and in this r const I will have a name is like I will have this only parent lifecycle, I'll have, so this will be done this, and then we have a lot of consoles there. Okay, so CLG parent lifecycle constructor. The main thing is to see how it works, and we're going to revisit this lifecycle method again when we're going to do hooks tomorrow. Okay, so this is there. Then I will have h1 showing this dot state dot name. This dot state dot name, and then here I'll do a CSG and uh, parent life cycle render. I'll do the render here. This is a render. Then there is this, both of these things we know, constructor and a render we know, but there is a very important lifecycle method. Actually, lifecycle method, there are two very important phases. One is the mounting phase, one is the updating phase. I'll tell about that. So mounting phase is one. So okay, did I change? No. So this in this demo form, I will explain in this demo form only what is mounting phase, one is updating phase. In this demo form, when we didn't touch anything means when this component is been rendered actually. So then some lifecycle method runs, those are known as mounting phase. Okay. But the moment I change the state, how do I change the state? By writing something. So this dot set state will run and all these things will run, state will get changed. So then a different set of method runs, which is known as updating phase. And this sets of method, we are going to, both the sets of method we're going to learn. Okay. So for this, first we're going to see the mounting phase. Mounting phase, two things runs, constructor and render. Okay. But there is one more thing which is known as component did mount. Okay. So component did mount I'll do, and then here I'll do a parent lifecycle and component did mount, parent lifecycle component did mount. I'm saving. Now I will show this parent lifecycle here. I'm saving. Now the order in which it runs. Constructor is running. Okay. Then after this, render is running. And at the last, component did mount is run. Component did mount is a very, very important lifecycle method which runs after the render. And this is the perfect place to do API calls. We do API calls in React. This is a perfect place to do, because once whole of the component is loaded, then only this component did mount run. Okay. So there is one thing, like you might have seen that thing in say everything is React. Suppose in Amazon site or something is there. You try to visit the Amazon site from a slow internet. What happens? First, only the structure gets shows. The items doesn't get shows. Item doesn't get shows because those items are also we are getting from some API, because those items keep on changing in Amazon, Flipkart, anything you go. Okay. So the whole structure is been first shown, maybe the tables. So all the static content has been shown first. So all the static contents are shown by render. And then in the component demand, we generally do the API calls. In every project works like that only. And then we show that. But we don't want the API call to like hold anything, and so the website will be 10 times more slower. If Amazon loads like that, then it will be more slower. So that's why we do the API call in component did mount when everything is render. Render literally means that everything is render on the screen. Then after that, component did mount is run. So that is there. Now, if we have a child component, then what will be the order? We'll see that. So for that, in the child component, what I'm going to do, take this all, and here structure and this parent cycle, I will change to child life cycle and change it. Okay. So like this, the child life cycle method is there. So back to parent life cycle, where I have to call this child. So I'll go here and do the child life cycle. And so anyway, I have to wrap it, or else it will give me error. You know this thing. So done and save it. So now if I come here, run again. See, this parent lifecycle constructor is running first, then the render. Then after the render, the component demand doesn't run. Then the render of the child runs. Render of the then the okay, constructor render, then component did mount here. At the end, the component did mount on the parent. This is very important because generally the API call we do at a higher level. So this is very important. Okay. So now we'll see the updating phase. And updating phase will not run in this way. Updating phase only runs if the state is changed or some props is changing everything. So everything is re-rendered, then only the updating phase run. So for the updating phase to run, we need to change the state. So how do we change the state? For that reason only I have this state, or else I would have directly written it. So I will come here and do a button, and in this button, the only thing of this button is to state, change state. And then here I'll go and do a on click equal to this, and this dot set state name is TWB, the web dev. Okay, name is the web dev. So I will save it. I'll save it. Now, now this button is there. Okay, now this button is there, but we have not yet created our updating phase method, because both of this method doesn't runs in the updating phase. And this is something very important in hooks also. You need to know this thing. Okay, so there is a different method known as component did update. Component did update is there, and here I will write did update and do this thing. So again, I'll come here and refresh it. Again, the phase which is just now ran, it's the mounting phase. So I will delete it. Now I'll update the state. See, in this phase, a very important thing is there. Neither this constructor ran, nor this component did mount ran. They only run for the first time. The moment we change the state, render will run first, and then the child render is also running, but the component did update is running. So component did updates is the counterpart of component did mount, and this is a very important concept which you're going to learn tomorrow in the next class in hooks. Like also we're going to see how lifecycle methods are implemented. And this is a very important concept. Okay, lifecycle method is a very important concept, and we are going to learn it at that time. Okay, so that is there. Now the next thing which we are going to learn is known as a refs. So why we do this, why we require this refs? So, and for this refs we will refer the one of the project is demo form. So demo form, we've seen this is the way to access the form, like e.target.value, and this is the long way, like I have to do like this here, and then I have to go back here, go back on listings here. So not because of that, the state concept is actually a bit longer. So the ref concept gives us direct access to the, actually this is the React concept. Okay, this is state concept, but refs is a bit of DOM concept. Sometimes we need deep access or the real access to any input field, and at that time we require refs. There is a very important good project on the on my YouTube channel, like I think TikTok clone. In that there is a video is there, and for video you have to reference it very deeply, video tag. So for that refs is required, or else it doesn't work. The refs is required, and you can see that project. And there are some other things are also earlier in around 2015 there were very less libraries in React, so refs were used to access something like jQuery and all those things. But refs is a very useful thing, and you should know it because they're very good use cases of this refs. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here and do a refs demo.js, refs demo.js, and rar will do. Then here go. Now I will have a div with, okay. So what I'm going to do actually, refs demo is okay. Refs demo, and right now let us convert the same example into refs, and you'll see how easy it is. And then submit will be there. The main thing is there will be no concept of a state here in refs. So there is no concept of a state. Okay, so I'll come here and do a r const here. I'll do, and then here there's no concept of state, so I'll remove the state. And instead of state, I have this two variables here, like name and this comment. So what I will write? So again, I have to write something. So this dot name ref, this, and this can be anything again, equal to react dot create ref. React dot create ref. This is how we create ref. And then this dot command ref, and again anything can be the name, react dot create ref. React dot create ref will be there. Okay, but now we don't want need this this complicated logic and all. So how do we access it? We access it very easily. Like, we don't need the value also, we don't need the this also, both of these things we don't need. We just need to go here and do a ref equal to this dot name ref, and here ref equal to this dot comment ref. This dot comment ref. Only this much is required. You will see one thing here. Okay, so this is actually not there. I will see what is there. Okay. You see this ref demo is there. I'm able to type here directly. Anything I can type here. Okay, so this is one of the benefit of it. I can type here directly. This is good. So that is there. Now, how do I get the data here? Here I got the data with this data state. So here you have to get the data with this dot name ref dot current dot value. So this current thing is there. Similar to this, there is this dot comment ref dot current dot value. So like this it is there. So now again I'll write something. This is good commit, and this is good is fine. So this is how easy it is to do it through refs. But refs were actually not invented for this. React team says that you use refs only when it is required, not like this, because that it might lead to performance optimizations, performance issues. Okay, so what React teams tell us, React team tells us that okay, so why do we use refs? You use refs if there is something special. There is something in the DOM which is there, which is not there even in the React. So there is a thing. So if I can click it, see here the first step is that I have to go here and click here. If this blinking thing is already there, then what will happen? So there is a focus function which is available in the DOM programming JavaScript DOM, and React works on something known as virtual DOM. It is DOM, and through which this click will be there. So my one step is saved. So I'll go here and do a component git mount, and then this dot name ref dot current dot focus. This dot name it dot current dot focus is something which is available in the DOM only. I'll save it, and now I will refresh it. See, it is coming here. So this is the thing which the ref should be used. This is good, and I will submit it, and this is good is coming. Okay, so that is there, and this is showing fine. Okay, so now the rest are also done. So now we are going to see one more important thing, which is known as context API. Context API is something which is inbuilt in React. React, uh, everything is passed through props, and that is a very big problem in React. And there is something known as prop drilling. Okay, in React. So what is a prop drilling? Prop drilling means, suppose I have an app component, and app component sending link to the component A, component is linked to the component B, component B is linked to the component C, and we're going to create that thing. Suppose I want to pass some data from app component to component C, which the component A and component B doesn't require, but then also in this scenario I have to pass through them. And this is known as prop drilling, because two component is okay, but if there are 100 components or there are tree kind of a structure, then what? Then the issue is there. So in React, there are two ways to solve this. One is through context API, and another is through Redux, which is like I generally teach that in advanced ReactJS concept. Redux and React Router, those are very advanced concepts. Okay, not in this class. Okay, so that is it. So in this situation, we have context API. So now we'll learn the context API. So for learning the context API, I will like close it, go to the app.js, and here I'll first create a component like and.js, and this will be again RCE, and like this. For child, okay, child is there. Now save it. Now the next I am going to create a parent.js. RCE, a parent is created. And this parent will actually call the child. I'm going to create this thing. Okay. This parent will call the child. This parent will call the child like this. Save it. And then I'll have a grandparent.js. And this RCE grandparent will be having grandparent will have this parent. Save it. Like this, it is there. And then finally, this grandparent will be called from this app.js. So I'll do this grandparent, and this will be called. Save it, and this grandparent is calling like this. Same thing we have created again here, like app component to component same. So that is it. And I want to pass some data from here, the app component, to the child component. I don't want to use props, or else I have to pass to the grandparent and the parent, and the parent will go to the child. I don't want to do that. So I want to do some other logic. So this is where the context API comes into picture. And the context API, there are two ways to use it. We are going to again revisit this when we're going to do hooks. So, and there is not much difference there, but there is some very easy way to do context API. I'm going to tell, there is a second method. So let us first implement context API, and you see that this method will be almost like similar. So for context API, we can create the main logic in the app.js also, and we can create it in a separate file also. So in these components, I'll come and do a user context.js, and then here I will do it is a different kind of a file. Okay, so this is not like your own file. Okay, so here I'll do a IMR, import React from React, then const user context equal to React dot create context like this, and then const user provider equal to user context dot provider. So context API have two things. One is a provider and one is a consumer. What are they? How they are used? I'm going to tell. Okay. So this user context dot provider and const user consumer equal to user context dot consumer. User context dot consumer. Then export user provider, comma user consumer, user provider, comma user consumer, and I will save it and save it. Okay, so the students have saved. Now is there. Now it is there. Now what we're going to have here. Okay, so this provider and consumer we're going to use. So how do we use this context API? Yeah, React is case sensitive. So do JavaScript, because React is based on JavaScript. Okay, so this is there, and I think only HTML is not case sensitive. Everything is case sensitive. So here what we have to do, we have to wrap the grandparent with this provider. So this provider, we have to wrap it. So provider will be included. Okay, then it's not so easy as passing props. Okay, so grandparent will be done, and then the user provider. Then I'll go here and do a value equal to menu. So this is the value which I'm passing. This nubbing is like the string value which I'm passing. In props also we were passing some string value. So this is the string value which I'm passing. But the value is a keyword. It cannot be name or something. So this is something different on props. This is how we pass the value. Now how we get the value. How we get the value, and this is something which I can pass anything. How do I get the value? To get the value is a bit complicated. Is a bit complicated. There are two methods. First method is a bit complicated. Second method is the easy way, but in hooks this is much easier, so that you will see tomorrow. So here the first method we're going to see, which is known as the render prop method. Okay, so here what will happen, we'll first import the user consumer will import, and then I will maybe look at it, and then I want to see that value nubbing. So I'll pass a value like user. User can be anything like this can be anything, but the main thing that it will contain the value this value. So user I'm doing, and then you are in return, and it says React is developed in Java. React is a JavaScript library. Okay, so it is like most of the code is like a combination of HTML and JavaScript. Okay, so that is there return like this. It is there, and then return and user ID. Okay. So this user, the main thing is that, but this pattern is very complicated. This is known as a render pro pattern, and this is like very complicated. I will save it. Okay, and now see this, I'm able to get this level. But this render pro pattern is very complicated. You might be seeing this a lot of curly brackets are there. So there is another pattern, and that pattern is I will tell. Okay, for that pattern, we have to do one thing. We have to do export the default user context. Oh, not this user. Export default user context. So we have to pass the complete thing. Like the complete thing I have to pass. Now again, I can do this get the value in child, but I will get the value in parent. So it is okay. So here, first thing is that I will do a static. So this is how we do it. Static context type. Static is a keyword, context type is a keyword equal to user context. So user context will import it. Okay. So everything is a keyword. This is imported. Now I can show that value like do h1 parent component is this dot context. This dot context. This dot context. I'm doing save it. This dot context, and see I'm getting this. Now again there is a bit problem here that but this is much more simpler. Everything is a keyword here: static, context type, user context, and this is known as this dot context, not this dot context type and all. And the problem again, another problem is that we can pass only one data. When we're going to see hooks, we're going to see that we can pass two data also here. Then we cannot use this method, we have to use this method. Okay, so this is context API. Now one sec. Let me give the attendance form, because we have come to the last topic of classes, and maybe I will end here. Day 3 attendance. Please fill the day 3 attendance, and the attendance is given at no other place except this. So day 3 attendance, please fill the day 3 attendance. Now we're going to look into the last topic in React class based, which is like your API call. So how do the API call? As most of you know, the data is generally So like this. Okay, so we are going to do this one. Okay, data is generally the backend engineer will give you a API endpoint, and they have some complicated logic in languages like Node.js or Java to create this API endpoint, which gets data from the database. And we have seen this earlier also, because when I was doing this list user, which is going to this user list user. I've just hard coded it and taken the data from here, and then I was passing it there. But in React, we have a concept known as not in React, in JavaScript, we have a concept known as promises, and there is something known as fetch API. So in JavaScript the class, Hari might have taught you that the fetch API. Through fetch API, we can fetch the data, and the code is exactly like same. Only the thing is that we should know where to use the fetch API in React. Okay, and that thing we have learned, and then we can easily get the data from any API endpoint. Okay, so and I'm going to use actually some code like this only, because instead of this, I'm going to create a new thing known as user list. This will be called user list.js, user list.js, and it will be RCE like this. Then I want to do the API call to this endpoint to get the data, not hard coding like this. And so what I'm going to do? So first thing first, I know that I'm going to get the data in a array of object, but it will be originally array, and inside that the objects are there. So first thing to do in an API call is that we should understand how the data will get. I will do r const, and then in the super process, and the state will be like okay, state will be users like this. Users will be the state. So users will be the state, which will be a array like this. Like this will be there now, and save it. Okay, so now what will happen here? uh, I will comment this out, and we'll have a user list. User list, user list. Okay, so user list will be shown like this. There is nothing there. Now this users array is there, and now I have to do the API call using the fetch API. Just like in JavaScript, we do through fetch API. The code is exactly same. So what is my API endpoint? API endpoint is, but where should I do the API call? I have told this thing earlier. We do the API call in the lifecycle method of component demand, because component demand runs after the render is done. So we are going to do there. So for that, I'll go here and do a component demand, and then I'll do a const URL equal to this, then const res equal to, because the fetch API require two things. So we have to two times we have to do the await fetch URL, but await is throwing me an error, because we need the function like which is wrapping this await as async. So we can make this component did mount as async, because at the end of it, this is the function. So I think I have to do like this. And then I will go again here, const post equal to await res dot JSON like this. Okay, then not post, let me call it users and users. Okay, I just want to see that if I'm getting this data. So I'll go back here, open the view page source, inspect console, save it, and see I got the data. I got the data, whole data, I got it. So this is how easy it is. So now in React, how to show it? So this code, this 3 lines of code we have seen in JavaScript also. But in React, how do we show it? So we will show it very easily, like and we have to set the state. Okay, so what we need to do here, we have to do the this dot set state, because I got the data. Then this users I can do, and users is users. So what is this user? See, if you see, the color is also showing something. Okay, color is also showing. I'm not audible. I'm not audible. Okay. Am I not audible? Am I not audible? Because I've given this whole thing, and if you say right now I'm not audible and all, how it will happen? Okay, I think you have joined right now. So am I not audible? Please confirm. Okay, so anyways, you can see this thing. Okay, so that is there. So now this users is this outside users. Okay, this outside users I'm taking, and this user which is coming, I'm putting it here. So means it will get this array of object. But in React, there is a concept, and not in React, in JavaScript, where both the key value pair are same. I can remove it like this. I can do it, and it will be there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go get this users array, something like this. I will get it. Okay, even better than this. I will just pass it there. Okay, I'll just pass it in the same users component. Okay, users component. So this was something which was Anup. This was something which was told in the class number 1. So please go back to that and you can see that. Okay. So user, this is the main thing in the class based. Okay, please don't miss it, the classes. So that's why it will be difficult to tell. Okay, so because this is like everything is done. Okay, everything is done. So this render function runs again and again and again and again. So that's why it is known as render. It is the most important concept in a class based. Okay, it runs a lot of time, and it can be run a lot of time through changing the state and all only. Okay, go check back the check the first class and you'll know more about it. Okay, so that is it. Okay, so it is giving me one error. So I'm taking it to the users component which you have created in, I think, second class, and I will show it. But it is giving me error, like because there is no users. So you see, like this is, it is giving me something. Okay, so what I need to do here, I need to like get the state. This is actually this dot state dot users. So idea I will do this. Okay, so again I'm going to use a destructuring concept, const. This is again JavaScript. Please see your JavaScript ESX classes to understand these things. Okay, users equal to this dot state, like this I'll do, and then I'll save it. And see, I'm getting all the users here, and not only one or two like hard coded here, like 3 things. I'm getting it like all the 10 users. I'm getting all the 10 users. Okay, all the 10 users I'm getting. So this is how it works. Okay, all the 10 users I'm getting, and we have completed the React class base. Tomorrow is the last class. Please do come, and we are going to do the hooks. Hooks is very small, and we can complete it in very less time. So that is there, and with this, I will end today's call. If you like it, and please do like and subscribe if you're not done yet. And as told earlier, you have to fill all the 4-day attendance form, and you will get the certificate by Sunday evening. Okay, so that is there. And thank you all. See you all tomorrow in